Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, telemedicine may be the future of patient care for many Minnesotans. And Minneapolis police officers could be required to participate in a new kind of training. Plus, a local fundraiser works to help the homeless and others in need. Valley News Live at 10 is straight ahead.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Nishay Taylor. The last year forced many of us to stay home and put us in front of screens like never before. When it comes to telemedicine, that might not be such a bad thing. Liz Collins shares the successes and the future of this practice for Minnesotan patients.
Telemedicine, I think, is the wave of the future.
A former firefighter and medic, it was a bad fall after retirement that put Bart Cedergren in a wheelchair. He lives up north with his wife. His 3 doctor visits a month that could take much of the day are done now in a fraction of the time, all online.
The only thing that we go in for these days are basically lab.
We went from maybe having 1 or 2 a month to now we're having, steady patients almost every day.
Family nurse practitioner Janelle Terhar now dedicates 1 full office day a week in Long Prairie to her telehealth patients. From parents with a sick child, behavioral health, and an older population, Terhar says patient profiles come from all over and that even webcams don't lie.
You can tell a lot by somebody by just looking at them and them being able to talk to you. If they're, short of breath, if they're sitting upright, you can see their skin color, you can see the color of their eyes.
She's also found clinic visits can cause anxiety, so she's noticed blood pressure readings and stress tests can be more accurate at home.
As much as possible, my theory is I would like to use as many skills over pills as possible.
Terhar believes it took the unplanned to force society in this digital direction, and while she doesn't see in-clinic contact going away, she does believe telemedicine works too well for patients like the Cedergrens to unplug now.
We're in the days of Star Trek, if you will. Everything's done remote.
At the height of COVID, CentraCare was doing 30% of visits via telehealth. Pre-COVID-19, its behavioral health department was rarely doing telehealth. Additional funding, federal funding, is assisting eligible families needing help with child care. Families in the state participating in the Child Care Assistance Program will have their co-payments waived until 2023, beginning with care provided in March. The program will also pay up to 3 months of child care while parents are involved in job search activities until September 30th, 2022. Nearly 3,000 children a month could benefit from the funding.
Families will have very little out-of-pocket expenses for childcare. They'll just be required to pay whatever the daycare charges over our state rates.
Last December, Congress approved $10 billion in supplemental child care and development fund resources. Investigators in Cass County, Minnesota need your help identifying a few people involved in an investigation. Take a look at this picture. The female you see and the man on the left standing next to the car with the door open are people of interest in a case in Pillager, Minnesota. If you have any information, you can contact the Cass County, Minnesota Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. That's 218-547-1424. And several people were taken to the hospital, with one person being charged with a DUI following multiple accidents in Grand Forks today. Grand Forks police were sent to an injury accident involving 4 vehicles at the intersection of 17th Avenue South and Cherry Street. One of the vehicles had left the scene going south on Cherry. A short time later, it was reported that that same vehicle was stopped 3 blocks south at Campbell Drive and Cherry Street. Officers located the vehicle and the driver. 18-year-old Austin Bicker was identified as the striking driver. He was transported to a local hospital by ambulance to be checked for injuries. He was later taken to the Grand Forks County Correctional Center on charges of DUI, leaving the scene of an accident and disobeying a judicial order. One person is in custody after an overnight shooting in Minneapolis. It happened outside of a nightclub that led to a shooting where 2 people were killed and 8 others injured. One of the shooters involved was one of the 2 people killed. This all unfolded around 2 a.m. in downtown Minneapolis. Authorities said during the confrontation, 2 people pulled out guns and began shooting at each other. Officers who were nearby as bars closed rushed to the area to help the victims. Police say 7 people had non-life-threatening injuries. As the anniversary of George Floyd's murder approaches, some people are hoping to pass a bill in his name that would overhaul policing. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act would ban chokeholds, prohibit no-knock raids, and create a national registry for officers who are disciplined for serious misconduct. The House approved the bill earlier this year, but it faces resistance from Republicans in the closely divided Senate. And Minneapolis police officers and their training have been in the spotlight for a number of events over the last year. And this week at a news conference, the city's mayor stated he plans to start requiring active bystandership for law enforcement training, also known as ABLE training, for all sworn personnel in the months ahead. This new type of training emphasizes how to better intervene and prevent harm in certain situations.
I think a lot of departments have been really interested in showing the community that they're doing something proactive, that they're not waiting for something horrible to happen in their jurisdiction.
ABLE also performs quarterly follow-ups after the training sessions with yearly refresher courses, and all of it is free. Congressional Democrats want an investigation into why security failed during the Capitol siege on January 6th, but most Republicans don't. The House approved the commission to investigate the attack, but only 35 Republicans supported the legislation. Those in the Senate don't agree with it, including Senator Kevin Cramer, calling it unnecessary.
We're talking about an event that we'd all like to put behind us, not continue to discuss it for months and years into the future. And I just think that the commission, that the January 6th commission that's coming out of the House is duplicative, unnecessary, and very well could be harmful.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has come out against his commission, and it's unlikely the required 10 Senate Republicans will cross party lines to support it. The Life Care Unites Foundation held its I Got 5 On It fundraiser to help the homeless and others in need. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling brings us the story.
On a chilly Saturday afternoon, the organization known as the Life Care Unites Foundation held their I've Got 5 On It fundraiser, selling food in the U.S. Bank parking lot.
To be able to have some kind of hope and light to, raise the vibration, it really helps lift your soul, and then you get more motivated to try.
The proceeds will help continue support the organization's free shopping and hot meals programs in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
So we really need to come together. I think we need more people out here taking care of just basic needs, just a simple thing like doing a solid for someone really helps right now.
Robinson says that the town has been generous to her and her family, and that she just wants to show that generosity back.
You didn't have to help me, and you actually helped me, and I'm paying it forward because I know it's hard for the next person that comes here and has nothing to feel like they're gonna get back on top again.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
Now, for more information on the Life Care Unites Foundation, visit our website at valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Later on Valley News Live at 10, the force looking to stave off elimination tonight. Devin is in later with the highlights. And it was a cold and windy day. How long will it last? Summer is back with your full forecast.